Hello everyone, I'm Jingjing. I'm the horticulture educator from Cornell Cooperative Extension of Chemung County. Today I'm going to talk about sustainable lawn care. A sustainable lawn is a lawn area requiring few outside inputs, such as water and fertilizers, to maintain healthy grass while having a positive impact on the environment. If you understand cool season grasses, you can help them thrive. Most lawn grasses grow in New York State are cool season grasses. They grow best in spring and fall. In early spring, even before the grass starts to green up, the roots break dormancy and begin growing. The combination of long days, cool temperatures, and adequate moisture produces a flush of growth in the spring. In a normal year, 60% of grass growth occurs during 6 weeks in spring. As temperatures warm during summer, growth slows, and the lawns require less frequent mowing. Roots can be damaged when temperatures are above 85 degrees Fahrenheit. The combination of warm temperatures and lack of moisture can cause cool season grasses to become dormant and turn brown during dry summers. In most cases, the grasses are still alive. They will green up and grow again in fall when cool weather returns and soil moisture is replenished. Top growth continues in fall until there are about 10 days with average daily temperatures below 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Roots will continue to grow and take up fertilizer until the ground freezes. The most important lawn care activity is mowing. If you mow correctly, your grasses will be healthier and have stronger roots that can better withstand drought, outcompete weeds, and resist pests and diseases. For a healthy, low-maintenance lawn, set your lawn mower to trim grass to 3 inches or higher. The reason to mow high is that the roots underground mirror the shoots on top. The shorter you mow, the smaller the root systems will be. Small root systems leave your lawn more vulnerable to drought, insects, and invasive weeds. Short lawns also require more frequent fertilization. Longer grass helps cool the soil surface, reducing water loss from the soil and decreasing competition from weeds. At the start of the season, consider taking your mower in for a tune-up and blade sharpening. This will save you fuel and achieve a clean cut on grass blades. The next question is how often should you mow your lawn? It depends. Let the grass be your guide. Never remove more than 1/3 of the grass blade when you mow. That means if you are cutting your lawn to a 3-inch height, you should mow before the grass is more than 4.5 inches tall. During the spring flush, you may need to mow every 3 to 5 days. During the summer slump, you may need to mow every 2 weeks or more. Start mowing in spring when the 1/3 rule says it is time, which means when the grass reaches 4.5 inches if you are maintaining a 3-inch cut. Stop mowing in fall as growth slows, usually about the time the daily average temperature falls below 50 degrees Fahrenheit for a week. Don't leave the grass more than about 4 inches long going into winter, because it can mat down and encourage snow mold. If you follow the 1/3 rule, the clippings won't smother the grass plants. They will dry out quickly and work their way down to the soil surface, where earthworms will help incorporate them. If the grass gets too tall and you end up with clumps of clippings, use a long rake to distribute them or rake them up so that they don't kill the grass underneath them. Clippings return nutrients to the soil, so you can use less fertilizer. Also, mow tree leaves in fall. Chop dry leaves with a sharp mower blade when some grass is still peeking throughout the fall. Just like people, lawns need a balanced diet. If you fertilize them too much, too little, or use the wrong kind, they won't be healthy. A soil test will tell you how much phosphorus and potassium fertilizer your lawn needs, if any. It will also tell you your soil pH and organic matter level in your soil. Lawns should have a slightly acidic pH, around 6 to 7. If your soil tests fall outside this range, follow instructions included with the test results for adding lime or sulfur to bring pH into this range. Contact your local cooperative extension office for soil testing information. If phosphorus and potassium levels are adequate in the soil, nitrogen is the most important nutrient for grass growth. For most low-maintenance lawns, a single application of 1 pound of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet in fall is best. Do not fertilize during the warm period following hard frost. Fertilizing at this time can cause excessive top growth, reduce root storage, and increase winter kill. The best window for fall application is after top growth stops, usually after 10 days with average daily temperatures below 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Roots will continue growing and taking up fertilizer until the ground freezes. Organic nitrogen sources alone are not a good choice for fall fertilization because they require warm soil and microbial action to release nitrogen. Soluble nitrogen sources are readily available to the plant, but leaching may occur on sandy soils. A 50-50 or 70-30 mix of slow to quick release nitrogen is less risky to the environment. Give your lawn 1/4 to a 1/2 inch of water after spreading fertilizer to get the material into the ground where it can be used by plants. Lawns that were not fertilized the previous fall or have suffered from winter injury may benefit from spring nitrogen applications. But wait until soil temperatures have warmed to at least 55 degrees Fahrenheit before applying. Most lawns in New York State do not need additional phosphorus for healthy growth, so do not apply fertilizers containing phosphorus. It is the law. Most lawns in New York State rarely need watering, except possibly for a few weeks in dry summer. The best time to water is early morning, between 4 a.m. and 8 a.m. Evaporation is low at this time, so more of the water makes it into the soil. Avoid watering on cloudy days. In general, a healthy lawn loses about 1 inch of water per week during summer. If your lawn receives an inch of rainfall every week in the summer, it will probably come through with little moisture stress. It is normal for cool season grasses to experience summer dormancy in response to lack of moisture. Studies have shown that as little as 0.1 inch of water over a 3-week period can keep the grasses from dying. Thatch is a layer of dead and decomposing plant tissue that forms above the soil. A thin layer about 1/2 to 3/4 inch is beneficial because it protects plant crowns and reduces compaction. But if the layer gets too thick, water, air, and fertilizer cannot get through to the soil and grass roots. Leaving grass clippings on the lawn when you mow does not cause thatch. Clippings break down quickly in most cases. Thatch is made up mostly of stems and roots that decompose more slowly. Thatch usually occurs on lawn that has been heavily fertilized, and it is most common on poorly drained, compacted, and acidic soils. The best way to release thatch problems is by core aeration. Core aerators punch small holes in the lawn, pour out the cores, and leave them on the surface. Core aeration is most effective in late summer when temperatures are starting to cool and the soil is only slightly moist. After aeration, air and moisture can penetrate the thatch through the holes and encourage better root growth. If there are some small bare spots in your lawn, the best times to repair these bare spots are in early spring and late summer or early fall, when temperatures start to cool and the rains return. Choose grass seed that matches your site. If the spot receives less than 6 hours of direct sun a day, select a shade-tolerant seed mix. Mix 1 part seed with 3 parts topsoil, potting soil, or compost. Sprinkle the seed soil mix evenly on the bare spot. Use your foot to firm the seed soil mix. Keep the soil moist, but water only enough to moisten the surface without causing runoff. After seeds emerge, reduce watering to encourage deeper rooting. You can leave the spot bare or lightly cover it with weed-free straw, marsh hay, or other mulching material. Make sure at least 30% of the soil is visible through the mulch. Stop mowing when 60% of the grass reaches at least 2 to 3 inches tall. Make sure your mower is sharp. Despite your best efforts, some weeds probably remain. Perennial weeds can spread and make a lawn unsightly. Annual weeds can leave bare spots that are vulnerable to runoff. To get them under control, you need to kill them before they set seed, and then improve the soil conditions to favor long grasses. The first line of defense against all weeds is preventive practices. Before you start attacking weeds individually, make sure that you are following the lawn care practices we have mentioned, especially mowing correctly, reducing compaction, repairing bare spots, and fertilizing in fall. Of course, there are a few alternatives to grass lawns. The first one is mulch. A minimum of 4 hours of direct sun is needed even for shade-tolerant grasses. So, for a very shady place, try mulch the area with materials like chopped leaves, straw, and wood chips. Ground covers could be another option. Shade-tolerant ground covers like mosses, wild ginger, geranium. Some sun-loving ground covers are like flowers, junipers, ivies, and sedums. Shade-tolerant perennials, annuals, woodland natives are a good option too, such as hosta species, impatiens, salvia, ferns, trilliums. Of course, my favorite alternative to grass lawn, and also what I did in my backyard, is a vegetable garden. Add a raised bed garden or an in-ground garden and grow some of your own vegetables, fruits, and herbs. Many herbs are deer resistant and can be incorporated into ornamental gardens. Okay, today I have talked about maintaining your lawn sustainably. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section and I will answer them later. Thank you.